So, in plenty of news, Super Smash Bros. Has had a lot of different things happening. As we found out, the Grinch leak was fake and Vergman was correct all along. Who knew? Because apparently the Grinch didn't ruin Christmas this year. But his leak is a little fleek. Because it's looking rather bleak. I, I don't know where this is going. But, anyways, yeah, I want to welcome you back to another YouTube video, you beautiful hosers. And today, obviously, we're talking about Super Smash Bros. Again. And I just want to have a quick little discussion as to why we got Piranha Plant, also known as Piranha Pete. And I'm saying it's Piranha Pete mainly because of his Smash. But if you haven't already seen it, I guess I just kind of spoiled that for you. Sorry about that. But the main thing is why did we get Piranha Plant instead of anybody else? Now, there's one major reason. Is because they always have to have a gimmick character that doesn't make any sense. Now, last time the gimmick character ended up being Bowser Jr., but it somewhat made sense. But this time they're like, you know what? Bam. Piranha Plant, free DLC until January 21st, was it, I believe? Anyways, we got him, and he's a gimmick character, but the only thing I see right now instantly after watching that video is he's going to be extremely broken. Because if you haven't watched what he can reach almost the entire length of the screen when he stretches. And no other Piranha Plant that I'm aware of in Mario is able to do that, but apparently this one can, I guess. It's a little weird that he runs in the pot, too. I'm 90% sure the main reason why we got them is not just because they needed a gimmick character or a slot holder like most fighting games do. I think they just wanted to add in another Mario villain because the constant theme that's been running through Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is spirits and good versus evil. Now, if you didn't watch the trailer for it, I strongly suggest you go and watch it. The video is absolutely magnifique. Yes, I just spoke French. But it is great that they did that. But the only thing you should notice is there's no villains. Now, my personal theory as to what's happening is the villains are on one side, the heroes are on the other. Now, the villains, I believe, would have been wiped out first, with Kirby and the rest being the last lines of defense. And I just kind of went off on that one. But if you haven't watched it, go watch it, then come back here. I'll wait 3 seconds. Okay, anyways, now that you've watched it, Kirby is the lone survivor, which kind of makes sense because he's the only character that is able to warp out of there, but he can never stick the landing. Never has and never will be able to. Even in the anime, a long time ago, can never land a warp star. Not even in a single game. Unless you're talking about Kirby Air Ride, but that's not considered canon. So, just disregard that one entirely. I mean, it's a fun game and all, but still, not, that doesn't count. Yeah, it's also a fun fact about why everybody crushes the warp star in Super Smash Bros. Just, yeah. But anyways, it kind of makes sense that he's the only person able to disappear and get away from them. Whoever the hands, my personal theory is that's just kind of their own thing. Master Hand was the hand of the child, the teenager, and the adult. It was a little kid when we played Super Smash Bros. It was a, I want to say preteen in Melee, then it's an adult in Brawl. I think, actually no, it would be a teen for Brawl and then an adult during Smash 4, and now this one obviously is still continuing it. But it's a constant area where they're like, good, evil, we need more villainous characters. So let's take Dark Samus, make them their own character, bring in King K. Rool, who was highly requested, and then just keep the theme going. Now that's probably why Banjo isn't there, is because they'd have to include Gruntilda, and I don't see that working unless her final smash is a tank, because she really does nothing. Mumbo would be better to be considered a villain at that point in time. But that's pretty much why he's not there. There's a lot of scrap characters. And there's a lot of characters that they wanted to add, but they couldn't. And then, of course, Nintendo goes and then chooses which DLC they want. So there's also that, which means the DLC doesn't have to follow the core game of Heroes vs. Villains for Smash Ultimate. But Piranha Plant actually aligns himself on the villain side, which means there's another villain. Because if you've noticed through almost everything that they've done trailer-wise, there's not very many villains in the game, so they're just trying to pump out more villains that they can that are Nintendo-owned, so they don't have to go back and say, oh, by the way, can I borrow your villain? That sort of thing. Because it costs them money in order to make the money, but they want to try and cut the cost as much as they can. That way Sakurai actually gets to sleep. And that's pretty much why we got Piranha Pete, is they wanted to keep the trend. And he's a gimmick character, and he actually makes more sense than them giving us a Goomba or Boo. If you get what I'm saying, because it doesn't really work out that way. Not really. It's just like, hey, let's make a Bomb a villain. And then you're sitting there going, but his only attack is detonate. So, yeah, that's my personal theory as to why we got Piranha Pete, and the reason why the Grunch leak was fake and Vergeman was great. That last part is completely false, but it's my idea why we got Piranha Pete instead. But anyways, I hope you're having a fantastic 2018, and if you're not, I hope it gets better for you sooner rather than later. Peace out, and I will see you all in tomorrow's live stream, which I coincidentally have no idea what we're streaming yet.